This video is about things we do that make it hard for others to connect with us and maintain any kind of relationship with us, be that as a friend, partner, sibling, parent, or coworker. So stay tuned if you're looking to increase the satisfaction in your relationships and the depth of your connections to others, and to remove some of the obstacles that may be there in your own behavior and that what you are bringing into relationships. Hey everyone, and welcome to Becoming an Expert at Self-Leadership. I'm Maika, a psychologist, and when I started talking about emotional immaturity on this channel and sharing strategies, how we can interact with emotionally immature people so that it's easier to be in a relationship with them, I was asked a couple times, but what if I'm the one who's emotionally immature? What if I'm the one who's making it hard to connect in a relationship? And to that, I want to say, well, firstly, already by asking such a question, a person is demonstrating some form of emotional maturity, because very emotionally immature people don't self-reflect. They wouldn't have the idea that they are bringing emotional immaturity into a relationship. So anyone who asks that, I doubt that they are as emotionally immature as they fear they might be. But in any case, I think it's a great question, because we all have a mix of emotional maturity and immaturity within ourselves. So it's always helpful to reflect on that and see what we may be bringing into relationships that make them harder than they have to be and less satisfying. Personal growth makes life easier and more satisfying. So let's dive right into it. What are some of the behaviors we may be bringing into relationships that make it hard to connect and compromise relationships of any kind? Number one, not showing interest and or monopolizing conversations. Reciprocal relationships require reciprocal interest. And as someone watching a personal growth channel, I bet that you are genuinely interested in the people you're connected with, at least to some extent, according to the depth of that relationship. But what may also be happening to you is that your interest isn't coming across. We unintentionally sometimes come across as disinterested. And when that happens, we just don't have an inviting air for others. They might feel like they're just burdening us, or if we also tend to monopolize conversations, they may feel like we're just looking for an audience. And that is just a huge break that we're pulling on connection and relationships. So to deepen relationships, make sure that your genuine interest is coming across. And the most important factors here are an open body language that is turned towards the person, eye contact, depending on if you're sitting or walking together, and most importantly, asking the other person questions about their life and what interests them, and also giving that topic space before the conversation naturally shifts to something else or back to you. Number two, not making enough room for yourself. This is the complete opposite of what we just discussed. It's not when someone monopolizes relationships or conversations, but if they hold themselves back unnecessarily and don't make sure that there is enough room for themselves. Because to a certain extent, only you can do that. You can have the kindest, most interested and respectful people around you, but if you don't bring yourself into relationships, there's nothing they can do for you. This can look like not openly saying what you really think, not setting boundaries, going along with everyone else's opinion because you think you'll make life easier for them, not sharing what you want. And what this actually does, it makes relationships harder, because others can feel that and sense that you're not being authentic. And they know, or at least to some degree, that they're interacting with a mask, a facade that is there to protect you from getting hurt. And they can feel like they have to ask you 3 times if it's really okay that you made this or that decision, because they know that you're having a hard time telling them. Or they can even feel nervous in the relationship because they can never really be sure that everything is okay from your side, because they know that if something was up with you, you wouldn't let them know. So by having that courage to make room for yourself, setting boundaries, sharing your thoughts openly, you're signaling to others that you think that that is okay also for them to do. And in that way, you're opening the door for effective and clear, direct communication, which is just a key component of deep relationships. Number 3, seeking validation and reassurance excessively. The key word here is excessively. If we haven't healed some of our inner wounds, and we are relying on others and their validation and reassurance to soothe the pain that is coming from those wounds, that can become really exhausting for them in the long run. Especially if after asking for the reassurance, we reject it. Others may not even have the chance to authentically compliment us if they're always busy reassuring us. And for some relationships, it's just not part of the healthy dynamic. A child, for example, that isn't an adult shouldn't have to be the source of reassurance for their parents. Number 4, excessive busyness. Busyness can be addictive, and we can be so distracted and busy all of the time that we don't have any room in our life for deep conversations. And in most cultures, busyness is valued, so we may even be getting a lot of approval for our busyness. But if we're so busy that others can't get a hold of us, that will definitely burden our relationships. Number 5, excessive complaining. This world offers a lot to complain about: the weather, policies, health issues, other people. I could go on. Living in that frame of mind just isn't very satisfying. And if that is our main focus, then that's also what we're going to be bringing into relationships and conversations. We may be using others as emotional dumpsters to dump all of our frustration into without reflecting which parts of that are coming from our mindset that may be overly negative. And that makes us into someone that isn't very pleasant to have around. Also, another form of this is when we exaggerate our problems and issues to get more attention and validation from others, but that usually backfires. It usually pushes others away because they get the sense that they're being lied to. Number 6, jealousy and envy. Jealousy and envy can be subtle. You don't even have to express it directly. People can see it in our eyes, in our facial expressions, or the lack of authentic happiness when they share a success with us. And I know, we don't have to be perfect, and we aren't. But make sure that whenever you notice jealousy or envy, to acknowledge it and try to understand what it's telling you. For example, it could be a signal for something that you also want to pursue in your life. When we consciously engage with our jealousy and envy, we can prevent that it grows into a huge mountain that crushes other people's joy whenever they share a success with us. You can also reflect on how much effort someone else has put into their success. That puts it into perspective and makes it easier to be genuinely proud of them and happy for them. Number 7, being quick to get agitated. This is another point that affects relationships and can only be resolved within ourselves, not within the relationship, or not primarily within the relationship. This means that we work with our emotions, face our insecurities and projections, heal inner wounds so that we can build that balanced inner state that is necessary for stable and loving connections in which others aren't overly busy pacifying us and tiptoeing around our emotional state. Number 8, not staying in contact. This one may sound trivial, but it isn't. What if others want to connect with us, but we never reply to any kind of message? We never answer the phone or call someone back or reach out with suggestions to get together. It'll literally not be possible to connect with us. So yeah, this one is really important too. Number 9, not expressing appreciation. Expressing appreciation in relationships is like watering plants. We need to do it regularly. If we don't water a plant, it'll dry up. And if we don't express appreciation in relationships, they will also wither and die. We need to let others know how much we value them and everything they do for us. Often we don't do this because we think it's obvious. We take it for granted that they know and that they trust that we value them. But how long can someone go on trusting that you see them and that you value everything they do for you if you don't let them know? They need to hear it. They need to hear it 3 times as much as we criticize or analyze issues in relationships. That's what relationships experts say. So make sure you show your gratitude. Take care of your relationships. Please don't leave this video feeling overwhelmed or worried and insecure about your ability to connect. No one is perfect. We don't need to be. Stable and secure relationships can easily handle some of the behavior that I've discussed in this video. Anyone who is willing to talk about what's going on in a relationship, self-reflect, and act on that has a great foundation for relationships. Take this video as an opportunity to reflect about this and pick one takeaway that you'd like to focus on in the next couple of interactions. That's it. More isn't required. Thanks for watching. If you would like to see more videos like this, make sure to subscribe. I upload every week. Till next time, take care and all the best for more genuine and deep relationships.